Here we are as we look ahead to Friday's show at the Beach Ballroom, Aberdeen. And with us now on Fightzone, one of the stars of the show, Corey McCullough. He's from Arbroath, which is not too far from Aberdeen, about an hour. How are you, Corey? And thanks for joining us tonight anyway.
Oh, man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You look like you're cramped in something there speaking to us. Is it
Yes, I'm stuck under the stairs because I've been kicked out my old office because of my partner. Yeah. So she thought it'd be a good idea to get pregnant, but it's all good.
She's going to punch you in a minute. You'll get a perforated eardrum.
She just shouted through there.
Yeah, you're going to get a perforated eardrum, and the fight won't be on next week. So how much are you looking forward to getting back in the ring and, of course, back to winning ways?
Well, it's been a tough couple. The last two fights, the two official fights. Obviously, I had an exhibition last time out, but it was the last two fights have been really tough, which I'm after. I'm not like when I started this career. I wasn't interested in trying to pad my record up to anything. I just enjoy fighting, and to have fights like that, the one a couple during lockdown with Elliot Well, that was a shambles. It was just one of these shots that I got caught when. It was a big chance, a big step up, and unfortunately I made a mess of it. But even the fight in Hamilton with Steve Wood was a tough fight, which it was, even though it was a draw, it was great. Even I got knocked down and I got back up. It was all part of the experience, and it's a lot. It's been tough not having a win for so long, but I've enjoyed it more than dancing around the ring. The only reason I'm in this is for fights, and I don't want people travelling to come see me fight when it's just it's a one-sided event. I like being in a fight.
Yeah, and you had your little exhibition, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that was good. I appreciate the boy for standing in because we couldn't get an opponent. We were struggling, so it was good to get out. Obviously, it's a shame that nothing goes on your record, but it was actually good to fight with no pressure, with nothing to lose. So yeah, it was good. It was a good little runabout.
Yeah, I was reading earlier. Do you still work offshore?
No. I stopped. I'm working for myself again. I stopped working offshore maybe a year ago.
Oh, right. I'm just reading an article and I was doing some research on you. And
no, that was she trying to maintain weight when you can finish your shift and you go down to the galley and there's it's all you can eat, and it was far too difficult to maintain. Like even training, you're working 12 hours, and then you go to the gym, and after the gym you've got like buckets of chips and you name it. And the macaroni cheese there was phenomenal. So it was hard. I'm kind of glad I'm away from that now. So.
Well, you must probably would have been at light heavyweight or cruiserweight if you stayed.
And the rest.
You might have been fighting Jay McCarrigan or Nick Campbell the other night.
I would have probably looked in a lot worse shape. Trust me.
So what can Fightzone viewers when they're watching on the platform expect from you?
Not a back foot. Never. I don't like going backwards. I only like going forwards.
Have you always been a fighting man? Even at school, did you have that aggression in you, or did it come later on?
I was a little bit of an arsehole growing up. Not in a bully way. I mean, I would have never.
You don't come across as a bully, so yeah.
I always like the, how do you put it, like the nerves and everything. If you were in the pub, even at school, and you knew there was kind of a bit of something could happen, like people could start scrapping and whatnot. I kind of got that buzz. I always enjoyed it. I was never a bully type person that would instigate fights, but if something came up, then I was always the first one that would like to get involved, which maybe is not a good thing, but I can't help the way I am, unfortunately.
And what is it your ambitions are from boxing? Obviously, you seem settled with your business and in work life.
It's like you say, I've always enjoyed fighting. My boxing career has been a strange one. I only had maybe 12 amateur fights.
Oh, really?
I would have a fight. And I smoked. I smoked and drank like throughout my whole amateur career, believe it or not. And I just enjoyed the fight. So I would go down to the club. I would train for 3-4 weeks, have a fight, usually got beat. And then after that, it was like, nah, enough's enough. And then I would stop for months, go back, and this kept going on. And I don't know, I don't know what pushed me to go to try and turn over. But my coach just now, George Ramsey, Shugless we call him, he had I tried to turn over, to turn pro behind his back because I was offshore and the way I was, smoking, drinking, like
eating mac and cheese.
Plenty of that. He never, it just wasn't a good idea. But I knew that if I did get to turn over, then I would change everything. Because the way I was going, it wasn't ideal living. I mean, the way I am now, I'm so happy for boxing. It's kind of gave me that. What's the word? Like, it's just changed me so much. I'm such a better person now. Even my family life, my work life, everything's just so much better because from eventually turning over. Move you little shit. So I do a lot of boxing. I know it's just from going from being not a bad person, but I had nothing going for me before. And although I'm fighting in smaller hall shows and whatnot, it's changed me a lot and it's made me a 10 times better person.
Really?
So it's great. I'm really happy just now.
Well, you know what? Whatever happens to your boxing, whatever you do in boxing, then you've won already. If it's changed your life around, isn't it?
100%.
You're a winner already. You're a champion.
100%. That's like, even win, lose, or draw, I don't really care. I mean, I understand. I would love to try and go on and win stuff. I understand your record. If you kind of go and get beat 3-4 times in a row and go and fight for stuff, I understand that. But I really hope that I can keep pushing, and I hope I get some credit and some sort of chance for taking risks. I don't want to. I'm happy to take risks and fight, go places and be the B fighter and try and turn these guys over. But unfortunately nowadays you don't really get any respect for that. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to get your chances coming off losses. But I mean, I'm going to keep plugging away. I'll keep fighting away regardless how losses it takes. I'll keep plugging away until something comes knocking.
Well, yeah, look, there's a Scottish title. I mean, you only had 6 fights, but you see guys, 12, 13 fights, looking at a couple of their records today. In 12, 13 fights, guys that have lost 2 or 3 fights are winning Scottish records. I was looking at, I think it was the Paul Keane, I think, the light middleweight was it. He's had like 12 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses or something like that. So it's not, a lot of these fights have been 4-rounders. These titles, they're not impossible dreams for you.
No, 100%. No, I mean, we had the shot. It was meant to be boxing. What? Was it 19th last month?
Yeah.
I had a shot for it. But we still do, obviously, all going well for Aberdeen. But I mean, I can't thank Sam enough for giving me the opportunity. I know I never went ahead, but I mean, even winning something like that it'd be pretty cool. To say, to know what I've been, to know where I've came from with no expectations to do anything in this game, none at all. Like my whole plan was to have one fight, and if I got sparked out, then that was it. I would have just I tried it. I'm not interested. Goodbye. But it's hooked me. I ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. Have you got to sell a lot of tickets to Aberdeen next week, or has the local fighter done that? Do you use a lot of pressure on you to sell tickets?
So. I've never been one for selling out places, so I hope Dean's done a good job. No, we've got a few tables coming up, so it's kind of been. I was never planned to be on this show, obviously. With the title fight meant to be last month, and obviously the squad that usually comes I'll be expecting them to come down for the title fight, all going well in Aberdeen. So obviously Aberdeen's more like just to throw my hands. I mean, I've been training for all over Christmas and whatnot.
And who was the Scottish champion? Who was you going to
Sorry?
fight for the title?
It was meant to be Stuart Burt.
Stuart Burt, the welterweight, yeah.
Yes, and then obviously injury. Don't know what happened, but 2 weeks prior, pulled out. So there's obviously there's plans in place. I don't know how much I can say, but there's plans in place for moving
don't
forward.
say too much, but you're going to fight him, get through next week, get a win. You're going to fight him next.
Hopefully get past next week, and then obviously hope maybe be announced pretty soon after that. What the plans are, but as long as I get knocked out, because I've been knocked down, I've been stopped by body shots, so you don't know what could happen in Aberdeen.
I tell you what, you know what? I've just been speaking for 10 minutes now. You're just talking of doing what you can do. You're not talking about conquering the world and knocking King Kong out. You're just going in there, and what's going to happen is going to happen.
There's levels to this game, and I know that better than anybody. I mean, when I first turned over, I sparred the likes of Paul Keane and Dean, and these guys made fucking mincemeat of me. Like, I don't know if they broke a sweat the first time we sparred, and I had no business being in there with them. But I thought, I'm going to turn over. I turned over behind my coach's back. My coach was now stuck with me. I've been with my coach since I was a kid. We've known each other forever. So he maybe felt obliged to go ahead with this. But I don't think he's ever had a problem. He's never looked back, because the amount of came on leaps and bounds from first day turning over. Like, when I went for my meeting, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to anyway. When I went for my meeting with the board to get my license, the first thing I done is went into the co-op at the train station. They got a packet of fags and some drink for the train on the way up the road. but that was just. But obviously after that weekend, I had a wee blowout, and then that was me knuckled down, and I have never looked back once. Like, not smoked. Like, everything's been. I've been a straight arrow since then, and like I said earlier, it's improved my life a lot doing that. But and even the boxing side of things, how much have came on leaps and bounds. Like, I sparred with Dean a lot, and we all know how good Dean is.
Yeah. And
now, like, I'm sparring with him often, whereas before, he wouldn't even waste a breath coming to spar with me. It'd be a waste of his time. So it's been amazing for the last few years how much I've improved. And I'm looking forward to showing people again on Friday, next Friday. I'm really excited.
Well, you know what? As the first time I spoke to you, you're a real infectious fella, and I'm sure people watching on the Fightzone platform are going to enjoy watching you next week, because you sound like, I mean, I've never seen you, but you sound like a real fun fighter, and I can't wait to see you now when I'm up there next week.
Well, let's just hope I fucking make it past the rounds and then I get put down again.
I tell you what, Corey McCullough. I mean, speaking to all the lads on there today, running on the card. I think you go into the gold medal position for entertainment. Thank you very much for speaking to Fightzone.
I'll be the only gold medal.